Hey insulators, so you have a CoolVac27. Here's how you operate it. First, you're going to make sure that you attach all your hoses and firmly depress in the safety switches. When you're connecting your 8-inch hose to the 8-inch input, make sure that you're sliding it in very hard so it's pushing the switch all the way in, and then tighten your clamp. In order to start up the machine, we're going to turn it up a little bit. We're going to pull the choke, and then we're going to turn the key. Push the choke in once it starts to settle in. And now we can rev it all the way up to 3,600 RPM. You're reading your RPM on this tach right there. Then when you shut your machine down, throttle back on your machine, bring that RPM down. Let it sit there for about 10 seconds or so, and then shut it down the rest of the way. And then turn your key off. This is the standalone vacuum saver, so it doesn't matter which direction this is facing as long as you put it in front of your vacuum. Anything that comes from the input is going to hit the vacuum saver first, dump the garbage here, and then it will continue on. This vacuum has the optional output safety deflector. This is highly recommended. If anything comes into the vacuum and shoots through here, it will protect your hose and it's going to protect people around you. So this is an option. And when hooking this up, we're going to run a small section of hose to the bag diverter. The bag diverter allows you to go from one bag to the other by just simply switching back and forth. You don't have to shut your machine down in between the switches, which makes it a lot more efficient, a lot faster. We have just put everything together. However, this is not set up correctly. Safety has to be in mind. We do not want the output to be aiming at anything like there's a boat on that end. We don't want the output aiming in the same direction that we're going to be emptying our vacuum saver. We are going to rotate the vacuum so the output is not going to be facing any vehicles or any houses or anything that can be damaged. We're going to have the diverter aiming in a different direction, almost a 45-degree angle if we can. What happens now is that when you go to change your bag, you're not in direct line of the output. This is the safest way to set up. When you're done with the day, do not lay anything on top of this muffler. It is very hot. It's been running all day long. Some people have laid bags on top of it. It will create a fire in your trailer. These hoses are very expensive. Do not lay them on top because it will burn right through that. And don't touch it at any time. To change the oil on this vacuum, you have an oil fill cap right here. We're going to open the oil fill cap and then get yourself a gallon jug, milk carton, anything like that. You're going to undo this hex cap that's on the end of this hose. The oil will drain out into that jug. Also, your oil filter is right here. They do make oil filter wrenches for these. With the dipstick, make sure that your oil level is somewhere in this grid pattern. If your oil is above the grid pattern, you have too much oil in it, and it could cause your machine to stall out. Too little oil, your machine may not start because it does have an oil sensor protection on this machine. The oil that you will be using is 5W30 synthetic oil. You should have at least 1 or 2 quarts available. When it's completely empty, you'll probably use 1 full quart and maybe part of another. To find the serial number on your CoolVac27, it is going to be on the frame right behind where you're pushing it. Here's the fuel filter. If you're having any issues with starting up and it's not getting any fuel, double check your fuel filter here to make sure that it's not clogged up. And on this side of the machine is the air filter. You're going to release the clamps and check your air filter to make sure it's clean. If you need to purchase a new filter, Napa should have this. You just give them the serial number that's on the back. The battery is just a standard 12-volt battery. Make sure that if you're not using your machine for a long time, just go ahead and disconnect the terminals. That way you're not draining the battery. If you're out on the job site and the battery won't crank over, you can easily connect the jumper cables to your car battery, because your car battery is also 12-volt battery. If you're going to use your machine maybe once or twice a week, consider getting a battery tender. They're a very nice way to keep the batteries charged up fully. Because the vacuums are in a very dusty environment, you're going to want to get all of the dust and the dirt and grime off of this machine when you're done using it. So if you have an air compressor, get yourself an extension wand so that you can run it down in between the gaps and make sure that this is all cleaned out and blown off. You're going to want to do that if you have an especially bad job. You can visually look at your machine and see if there's a lot of dirt on there. If there is, that's the time to take care of it.
This is Barry with InsulationMachines.net. Not only do we offer equipment sales, we offer technical support and on-site training. Contact us today if you need our help.